Good afternoon. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins, and today is Monday, March 3rd, and this is our regular weekly update. To this afternoon, we're going to go through and talk through our Community Mental Health Commissioner, Michael Orth, coming up to talk to us about a new mental health clinic that we're reopening. We're going to have Robbie Schloff, who is our Executive Director of the Office for Women, talk to us about Women's History Month and kicking off Women's History Month and talking about everything that we have going on. We're certainly going to have the Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney, come and speak to us about everything that's happening in our parks, recreation, and conservation system. But first we wanted to start today in thinking about the things that have happened over the last last week. What we witnessed last week on Friday in the Oval Office in White Plains, in Washington, between President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was just awful and disgraceful. That their behavior was not only embarrassing, but a blatant act of bullying towards a leader who has demonstrated extraordinary courage and resilience. It's an insult for our Democratic ally, and certainly Westchester, who has one of the largest Ukrainian populations in the state, and certainly all of our friends and allies that we've been together through all the years, it was a concern to all of us. The leadership President Zelensky has shown in his face of incomprehensible adversity is nothing short of amazing, and like most Americans, I know I was deeply concerned about the impact this aggression and disrespect could have on our relationship with Ukraine and our European allies. For over 3 years, the people of Ukraine have fought with incredible valor and bravery against this unprovoked invasion of their territory and criminal killing of its people by Russia. President Trump and Vice President Vance definitely owe President Zelensky and all of our American people a sincere apology for the undignified and dangerous conduct. To the brave people of Ukraine, Westchester County continues to stand firmly with you. We offer our support and solidarity in your fight for freedom and peace. And certainly all of our friends and family, again, certainly in our Ukrainian community throughout Westchester County, deserve to understand that all of us are standing with them. And we're going to continue to do that work together for Westchester. Because again, every time we say this, it starts with WE. That means we're together, again, in those good times and bad times. So for all of our Ukrainian family, we want you all to know that we are standing strongly with you. We're going to flip our switch to be able to talk about something that's been a long time in the making. A long time ago in 2010, we had an opportunity in Westchester County when our previous administration decided that the best course of actions as far as mental health clinics were concerned were to close the county-run mental health clinics, giving up the license that we had, and letting our nonprofit partners do the great work that they continue to do. What we've discovered over all of that time is that those nonprofit partners do tremendous work, working so hard with so many people, doing various services, and whether those are inpatient services, outpatient services, and making sure we're dealing with the concerns and issues of the day. It was clear to us a couple of years back that we needed to bring back that extra level of safety net care that the community mental health department is the one that can be able to provide, and the county can provide that level of support directly. So today, we're really so proud and pleased to get to the place where the license was actually restored. We got our license back for doing that. So up to have an opportunity to speak about that is our good friend and Commissioner of Community Mental Health, Michael Orth. And he is going to be bringing up someone with him that works so hard on this particular project to make sure that everything is worked correctly, and that's Melanie Montalto. So with the two of you come back up and be able to talk to us for a few minutes about this exciting opportunity for groundbreaking of our new mental health clinic here for this facility. Commissioner.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, County Executive and Deputy County Executive as well. We are so excited to be here this afternoon for this truly special occasion, as the County Executive said, to announce two major milestones for our outpatient mental health safety net clinic. Last week, we were awarded by New York State Office of Mental Health a provisional outpatient license, and today was the start of construction for our new clinic space. Let me begin by briefly sharing the significance of the opening of the clinic. Mental health and substance misuse are both at the top of a public health crisis facing our nation. This was true before the pandemic, and as our county executive said, even greater since. Lack of timely access to effective services, waiting list challenges, workforce challenges, lack of adherence and enforcement of health insurance parity, this has led to a significant gap in outpatient mental health services. This has led to too many of our residents not getting the important treatment and support they need, placing both their mental and physical health in jeopardy, and of course the ripple effect it has on their loved ones, the community, employment, and other critical life areas. The default response is too often the emergency room, police, the courts, or to struggle in silence. As the county executive mentioned, we're fortunate in Westchester to have several strong behavioral health organizations who are providing quality care to many of our residents. They have felt the impact of low insurance reimbursement rates, workforce challenges, which has prevented many of them to be able to expand their services. We have and will continue to partner with our agencies in both our county planning role and as an operator of clinic services as we collectively try to strengthen our mental health system of care for children and adults. And as County Executive Jenkins mentioned, our outpatient safety net clinic will service adults who are experiencing mental health issues, co-occurring issues, and other complex needs requiring the support of multiple systems. This includes addressing various social determinants of health and safety needs. Individuals served in our clinic will have access to evidence-based treatment, individual group therapy, medication management, evaluations, peer support, and linkages to supportive services, and will offer a place of hope for those walking through the door. The opening of the clinic is another example of how this administration, under the leadership of County Executive Jenkins and our Board of Legislators, have made major investments in mental health and wellness for our county residents. This includes working in leadership with our agencies to offer 76 school-based satellite clinics for children. Of course, our Project Alliance, which is providing mobile crisis services, crisis response, and 988, through the use of opiate settlement funds, offering treatment, prevention, harm reduction, recovery, and more recently, an expansion of our employee assistance program for the county workforce, and many other investments. Thank you, County Executive. We appreciate it. Opening a clinic is no small task and involves many people to support it and the expertise of many. DCMH is so grateful to those who made this new clinic a possibility. Let me begin by thanking Public Works Commissioner Grecian, Adam Kaplowitz, Carolina Spataro, and their staff for specializing in creating a space that's specialized and trauma-informed. Under IT Commissioner Burney, we have a new electronic health record. The Department of Health has allowed us to partner in using space and other related matters, and of course the team at DCMH. I want to acknowledge the efforts of Deputy Commissioner Glazer, Special Assistant Bill Weitz, our Director of Administration Mary Kay Caballero, and of course our Assistant Director of Division Melanie Montaldo. Melanie, for the past year and a half, has been picking out curtains, preparing training, doing everything nuts and bolts to prepare for this clinic, which we think is really going to be an important safety net clinic. Melanie, on behalf of our department, the county, thank you for your dedication, commitment, and we look forward to opening the clinic, hopefully in late spring. And of course, none of this would have been possible without the unprecedented leadership and support of our County Executive Jenkins, Director of Operations Joan McDonald, Assistant Director of Operation Emily Saltzman, and our Board of Legislators. Thank you for your support for mental health in our community. Thank you so much.
We're going to say again thank you to Commissioner Michael Orth and his entire team for being able to make this happen. And while it sounded impressive that said from the time that we thought about this and saw how it was necessary to connect those mental health services that are critical to take the data that we receive, and whether that comes from Project Alliance, from our nonprofit partners, for the things that we've seen on the street over the years, to make sure that we're making that investment in keeping Westchester residents safe and secure by providing the support services that are necessary. And it's been a long challenge because it was not easy to do. And Melanie Montalto and the folks on the team that had to do things in addition to the physical work that had to go on. It was restoring, it was applying for a new license. People didn't recognize, and I'm not sure everyone knew that at the time, it was giving up the license. It wasn't just us not providing a service for whatever sets of reasons, but we had to give up the license. And when we gave up that license, now we're really starting from scratch. And while, again, we'd all like things in government to move faster, the reality is it takes the time, energy, and effort to make sure that the services that are going to be able to be provided, the community is being supported, and most importantly, the people that require those services are getting the services that they need. So again, Commissioner Orth and everyone on the team, Deputy Commissioner Joe Glazer, Melanie Montalto, and certainly our communications team, including Bill Whites from DCMH, making sure that everything happens for that. It's so critically important when people see the concerns and have the issues across the board. Taking those opioid dollars, taking all those kind of things with all the partners that we have, co-occurring disorders, and to be able to provide that level of services as a safety net. So we're going to continue to do this work. We're looking forward to having a great groundbreaking on the facility itself. But again, it's all those partners working together, and we want to keep echoing and saying our nonprofit partners are doing an excellent job. This is another step to be able to fill in a gap that was not there before, that happened. And again, it's not just our administration and previous administration here in Westchester County. It's across the country, and we see all of that impact. So Westchester County continues to be a leader in this regard. And from our administration side, it's just us removing roadblocks to let the professionals like Commissioner Michael Orth and his team do the work that they do so well. So Commissioner, thank you again for that outstanding work and your continued leadership in making sure that Westchester residents are safe, sound, and secure. So thank you so much. We had some tragic news for us in New York State and really around the country as Westchester County and all New York State residents around the country mourns the passing of Hazel Dukes, who was a longtime civil rights activist and president of the NAACP in New York State. She also was the president of the NAACP nationally for several years, and Mom Duke's work, and that's what a lot of people called her, was Ma Dukes. The work that she did around for the people and for fighting for civil rights, standing up, again, on so many different causes, and whether those causes were labor unions or whether they were civil rights violations, whether there was police brutality, whether it's housing and education. Hazel Dukes has been a leader to do that, being a pioneer herself, actually being the first Black resident in Roslyn in her particular development, was showing again that leadership. And we all have our own personal stories about Hazel Duke, but for me, she was a friend and a mentor, and she embodied progress, resilience, and a fierce advocate whose fight and determination inspired generations. Her legacy is a powerful reminder of lessons we strive to uphold and emulate every day, and it all starts with just getting engaged and involved. And Hazel Dukes is that embodiment to show what happens when you get engaged, involved, and you're standing up for what's right. So again, we're going to miss Hazel Dukes. Her services have not been announced just yet, and I know that we'll make sure that everyone who is interested in attending will be able to do so and be able to show their support and respect for such a great leader here in New York State and around this country. With that, we're going to make sure to remind everyone that March is Women's History Month, and we're going to have Robbie Schloff, the Executive Director of our Office for Women, come up and talk to us for a few minutes. Women's History Month is an opportunity to celebrate the strength, resilience, and achievements of women who have achieved in our community. In Westchester County, we're not just celebrating progress, but actively working to create more opportunities for women in leadership, business, and public service. From boardrooms to classrooms, women continue to drive change and inspire future generations. Our administration will continue to implement policies and initiatives that support women's advancement, because when women succeed, our entire community benefits. Here to highlight the services are Westchester County Office for Women offers, is our Executive Director, Robbie Slough. Robbie.
Hang with me, or you want to go sit?
I'm going to sit.
Okay. Thank you, and thank you for reminding us about the incredible work of Hazel Dukes and other women like her. So I want to thank you for inviting me to kick off Women's History Month. And March is Women's History Month, but we work together with your support, Ken Jenkins, to help and support women in Westchester all 12 months of the year. I want to thank you, and this is why I want you to stand next to me so I could thank you really close, for supporting our office, your steadfast support for the Office for Women, ensuring that it became a charter, the Brooklyn and me, the charter department when you were on the Board of Legislators, and I was going to ask you what year that was. And you're putting this office into the charter means that we will be able to continue to do our good work regardless of who is the county executive. So March is Women's History Month, and the theme this year is Moving Forward Together, Women Educating and Inspiring Generations. And you brought up someone who has, for a long time, Hazel Dukes. This theme celebrates the influence of women who have dedicated their lives to education, mentorship, and leadership. So our office embodies this theme with a program that we have had for 2 decades called Her Honor Mentoring. And I want to recognize the Westchester resident who started this program, Nicole Scheinlin, who was a legal services attorney and the daughter of another famous Westchester resident, Judge Judy Scheinlin. And together they put together Her Honor Mentoring after Nicole recognized the need to help young women when she was a legal services attorney in criminal court. Her unique program provides young women of financial need with guidance and support around college and career readiness. So we've been partnering with her. They're up to 120 mentor professional women relationships, which include several women who work in the county and the court system and in business. And they provide opportunities for high school senior girls and pair them to bridge education and employment gaps, connecting the Westchester County public education system with powerful resources that we have in Westchester County with the wonderful women who work and have a commitment to give back. So as a mentor myself for the last 14 years, I can tell you that this experience means as much to me as it does for the students who we help. So for Women's History Month, one special event that we're doing, and many of our colleagues in county government are going to participate in, is the Westchester Women's Summit. This is the 5th year of it, and it will be held on March 14th at the Sonesta Hotel in White Plains. This year's conference focuses on wellness in every arena of life, with a full day of workshops, panels, and experiences: mental health, physical health, career health, and financial health. And I look forward to seeing lots of women there. So our office, the Office for Women, most of our work deals with domestic violence and family violence issues. And unfortunately, this job is not getting any less. The number of cases have only increased, I would say, since COVID. And we try to do innovative programs such as our Westchester County Domestic Violence High Risk Team. And this is a model for the state as well as national programs. And we have been asked to train and to use what we have learned all around the country and even the world. And it is because of the commitment of the county departments. Michael is here, who's my buddy in this. We work with the Department of Public Safety, Probation, Mental Health, Department of Social Services, and the DA's office to all work together to really enhance safety for families that are going through violence. We train all over the community, whether it's lawyers, community groups, whoever, doctors, healthcare professionals. We're training the health department, and we try to identify with these folks. We're training emergency services next week, looking at the deputy county executive. And we try to help people identify serious risk of harm and then get them to connect with our office so we can best help. We are on site at all 3 courthouses in Westchester County, assisting those who come in for immediate orders of protection, custody visitation, or other relief in the courthouse. So we have a lot of resources. You can call us at 995-5972. Our resources are on our webpage, which is women.westchestergov.com. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today for Women's History Month.
Thank you, Robbie. And certainly we want to continue to echo that Women's History Month has a lot of things that people should have this opportunity to be able to celebrate the resilience, strength, and achievements, but also understanding the amount of support and resources available for so many different things to make sure that that women's history is recognized in the struggles that everyone has gone through, to continue to make sure that we are learning from those to be able to support each other. So thanks a lot, Robbie, for the work that you and the Office for Women continue to do on behalf of everyone here in Westchester County, but certainly during Women's History Month. I'm not sure the year that we did, we voted on that. So again, some of the things that escape us over the years is all the work that we do as legislators and passing things. I'm certainly moving the Office for Women from a component of the county executive's office. It was a subgroup of the county executive's office versus it being its own standalone department with its own standalone budget, and certainly to make sure that that office is going to stand no matter who was county executive going down the road. It's just it's the relevance of the things that we have going on right now from a country perspective, where certainly diversity, equity, and inclusion have been made to sound evil and incarnate, which is the truth is not anything like that at all. Understanding the things and the contributions that have happened over the years in this Women's History Month makes it even more important for us to stand up and fight for everyone together. So thanks a lot, Robbie, for all of that work that you continue to do, again, with your great team. We want to remind our folks around Westchester County that the Westchester County's Department of Environmental Facilities, DEF, will be conducting a second public meeting to afford residents the opportunity to provide their thoughts and comments on waste reduction here in Westchester County. That next meeting is scheduled for March 12th, and it's going to be from 7:30 to 9 p.m. here in the County Center in White Plains. DEF is working with Barton and Lagutis, who is a consulting firm, on a waste reduction study that will serve as a guide for reducing waste generation and disposal throughout the next decade and beyond. It's certainly important to make sure your voice is heard, and that is as we continue to try to do different things to make sure that we are reducing the amount of waste, and certainly Westchester County and DEF, along with our local municipal partners in the cities, towns, and villages throughout the county, have done a tremendous job of implementing different items as we go along the way. And certainly our own Energy and Sustainability Director, Peter McCart, and Elijah Reichland-Melnick, from a team perspective, have been able to work with the department to be able to implement so many different things. But this is important to have your voice heard. So at this meeting, Barton and Lagus and DEF will discuss those goals of the study itself, and attendees will be provided up to 2 minutes each to provide their own input. For those who were unable to attend the first public meeting on February 26th, will be given a preference to speak at the second meeting. So for those of you that would like to provide input but are unable to attend even for this evening session, you'll have an opportunity to submit written comments for after the meeting through March 19th at 5 p.m. So March 12th through March 19th, you'll be able to submit additional comments in writing. To go to get that information or to submit that information, you'll go to environment.westchestergov.com. And again, it's for the waste reduction study, and it's an opportunity for you to give your thoughts on what things that we can do to reduce waste and how that disposal can happen. And again, it's so important to protect the environment. We only get one. With that, I'm going to ask the Deputy County Executive to talk about parks, recreation, and conservation. TCE.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with the county executive and the former speakers. We have such a very talented group of people that work for Westchester County. I did want to mention before I get on to the parks that Westchester County was the first county in New York State to establish an office for women in 1980. This is the 45th year, and the only one. The only one in the country. Very exciting. Today it's my pleasure again to talk about our award-winning, nationally certified Parks and Recreation program. We're very proud of them, and each month they plan a number of activities for local families, and the first event will start tomorrow and will continue every Tuesday for the rest of March at the Alfred Del Bello Muscoot Farm. It's a program for young children, 3, 4, 5 years old. They come to the farm and they visit with the animals, they hear stories, they participate in craft building, and a whole bunch of nature activities. There is a modest charge of $10 per child, and that, of course, takes care of all the supplies that they use. And then on Thursday, and this also will continue every Thursday for the rest of the month, is at Hilltop Hanover Farm Environmental Center in Yorktown. Ages 3 to 6 will explore the world around them by combining storytelling and hands-on activities. And this event will also continue every Thursday throughout the month of March and again on April 3rd. And then we have on Saturday, March 8th, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. At the Lenoir Preserve in Yonkers. It's the last opportunity to learn how maple syrup is made from maple trees, and there'll be demonstrations, tasting, community tables, and an optional $5 pancake lunch, Mr. County Executive. Maybe we can go and enjoy that. It sounds like a lot of fun. And then on Sunday, March 9th, at the Alfred Del Bello Muscoot Farm again, you can join us to celebrate the end of sugaring season. Enjoy some pancakes and savor our Muscoot-made syrup. And it's only $6.72 per person. I don't know how they figured out that rate, but it sounds like a wonderful program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy County Executive. I'm not quite sure. We're going to have to follow up with the nationally accredited award-winning park system to understand why they determined $6.72. Maybe there's tax included, and that's how they came up with that number, but it just sounds weird. But there must be a story behind it, and I'm looking forward to hearing that. If it's at Alfred B. Del Bello Muscoot Farm, that would be with John Benjamin, who is our farm manager up there, who will be able to give us all that information. Maybe it's something that Cluxatani Henrietta had come up with, and when she scratched out the things that we were going to get 6 additional weeks of winter, that came up with $6.72. There's got to be a story behind that. Well, today we also had an opportunity to have Congressman George Latimer, our previous county executive, come back to the 9th floor to be able to do a presentation about the Social Security office here in White Plains. Senator Gillibrand brought this to everyone's attention a couple of weeks ago, that the White Plains Social Security office, which basically hears hearing and does the challenges where people have questions and concerns and need an administrative law judge, as well as additional folks to deal with an appeal of a decision by Social Security. The Social Security Administration, that office is planned to close on May 31st. And differently than the challenges and chaos that's going on in Washington, this one was because of a lease that was expiring and that may have fallen through the cracks, but also that the owner of the building, the landlord, decided that they were going to move on and make some changes in the building. Congressman Latimer, we are pleased to partner with Congressman George Latimer as we are presenting an opportunity for the federal government to utilize some space that we have in the county center, and we'll see how that is received. I know Congressman Latimer mentioned that Congressman Lawler and him are working together on this particular item to make sure that we are able to make sure Westchester residents don't have to go to Albany, to New Canaan, Connecticut, or down into the Bronx to be able to have challenges and their voices heard in the offices in the Social Security Administration. So it's always a pleasure to partner with Congressman George Latimer, and we're hopeful that the federal government will take us up on that offer. If not, we're going to continue to work and try to come up with solutions instead of pointing our fingers at problems. So again, thanks Congressman Latimer for partnering with us on this particular item. And certainly we look forward to hearing from our federal partners to see if we can make sure that Westchester residents are supported in this particular way. We also want to make sure that we talk, because we did have all the things that are happening with our public employees that are working at the federal level. We want to make sure that everyone continues to recognize that we all support the work that public servants, we're all public servants here in the county, and our partners at the federal level are no less public servants. They do a tremendous job, and sometimes it's difficult, especially watching all of the challenges when someone is taking out an axe and making cuts instead of taking out a scalpel when it's necessary. So again, we want to continue to show our support for the federal employees that we have in Westchester County. We don't have as much as in different states do, but we certainly do have federal employees in Westchester County, and we want to say to those public employees that we all continue to support each other as we try to do the work on behalf of the citizens in Westchester County. Today we had a wonderful opportunity to have a conversation on different things, specifically having the Department of Community Mental Health with Commissioner Michael Ault talk about an exciting opening of a safety net clinic that will provide an additional level of support and services that will help continue to help Westchester residents get the help and support that they need, and that's certainly an important item that has happened. Robbie Schloff talking about our Office for Women, and specifically during Women's History Month, and the myriad of programs and support network things that are happening during the month to recognize resilience, strength, and accomplishments of the women that have been here through Westchester County. And certainly there's never a time that we don't have an opportunity to hear from our Deputy County Executive as he talks about our award-winning, nationally certified, nationally accredited park system, and making sure that you have an opportunity to see that. I'm going to just give a quick additional shout out to make sure that you sign up for the Parks e-newsletter if you haven't done that already. Go on the website, parks.westchestergov.com. Make sure you sign up for that, as well as signing up for our weekly newsletter that comes from the County Executive's Office that talks about all things Westchester and things that are happening. With that, I'm Ken Jenkins, County Executive. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.